welcome to the first episode of Crochet Crumbs, and today's episode is on how to make a crochet pochacco. These are the materials and abbreviations that you will be needing. It's important to know that I'm using acrylic yarn, but if you're using a different type of yarn, your project will end up a different size. So if you're using a chunkier yarn, it's going to turn out bigger. Also, another note, we will be working in rounds for this project, and we will not be making slip stitch and chain 1, so we will be working in rounds. To start making the head, in round 1 we will be making a magic ring, and in that magic ring we will be putting 8 single crochets. Pull on the tail to close the magic ring. For round 2, we are going to be increasing in every stitch, which basically means that we will be putting 2 stitches in the same stitch 8 times to make 8 increases, and we will have 16 stitches at the end. For round 3, we are going to be making 3 single crochets and then make an increase on the 4th stitch. So we're going to be doing 3 single crochets, and then on the 4th stitch we're going to be doing an increase, and we're going to be repeating that 3 more times. So we're going to be doing that 4 times in total. For round 4, we are going to be making 4 single crochets and increasing in the 5th stitch. We're going to do that once and then repeat it 3 more times, so we're going to be doing that 4 times in total and have 24 stitches at the end. Round 5, we're going to be making 5 single crochets and increasing in the 6th stitch, and we're going to be repeating that 3 more times. So we're going to be doing that same thing 4 times in total like before and have 28 stitches in total now. For round 6 and 7, we're just going to be single crocheting around for 2 rounds. So we're going to be single crocheting around without doing any increases or anything, just normal single crocheting for 2 rounds. And we're going to be having 28 stitches in total for each round. So for round 7, we're going to be having 28 stitches. For round 8, we're going to be making 6 single crochets and decreasing, and then we're going to be making 12 single crochets and decreasing, and then we're going to be making 6 more single crochets, and you're going to end up with 26 stitches in total. For round 9, you're just going to single crochet 26 around. Round 10, you're going to be making 6 single crochets and then making an increase, and then make another single crochet and an increase, and then you're going to make 8 single crochets and then another increase, and then 1 single crochet, another increase, and then make 6 single crochets, and in total you're going to be having 30 stitches. For round 11, you're going to be making 7 single crochets, 1 decrease, 12 single crochets, another decrease, and 7 single crochets, and you're going to end up with 28 stitches in total. For round 12, you're going to be making 14 decreases and end up with 14 stitches in total. So you had 28 stitches and you're going to be decreasing all around and having 14 stitches in total. Now you just have to stuff the head with your stuffing. You can also use old yarn scraps. And to finish off, just chain 1 and cut your yarn and pull it off to fasten off, and you don't need to keep a long tail because we won't be sewing the head with this tail. And your black yarn because we will be making the ears now, and for that we will be starting off with a magic ring and making 4 single crochets to start off the ears. The ears can be a bit complicated to make as we are using lesser stitches, so they're a bit small. For round 2, we are going to be making 1 single crochet and increase, and we are going to be doing that 2 times in total, so we are going to be having 6 stitches in total. For round 3, we're just going to be single crocheting around 6 times, so we will have 6 single crochets in total. In round 4, we will be doing 2 single crochets and another increase in the 3rd stitch, and we will be doing that 2 times, so we will have 8 stitches in total. In round 5, you just have to make 8 single crochets around. For round 6, you have to make 2 single crochets and another decrease. You have to do this 2 times, so you will have 6 single crochets in total. To finish, we will make 2 single crochets on the top 2 clothes. So you will hold the 2 ends together like this and make 2 single crochets on top like I show in the video. And to finish, chain 1 and cut to fasten off and leave a tail for sewing. Now we will make the hands, and to start off we're going to be making 5 single crochets into a magic ring. For round 2, we will be making 5 increases. So we're going to be putting 2 stitches into the same stitch 5 times and have 10 single crochets in the end in total. For round 3, you just have to single crochet around and we will have 10 stitches in the end. Now we will have to color change to the color of your shirt. I am using red. So to color change, on your last stitch, we will pull out the yarn and insert our hook into the stitch like I showed on the video. And then we're going to pull our shirt color through. And to start the next round, we are going to be making slip stitches in the back loop only. So we are going to be making 10 slip stitches in the back loop only. Now you can just cut off the white yarn because we won't be needing that anymore. We're just going to be working with the red yarn or the shirt color yarn. And to start round 5, we're going to be making single crochets in the back loop only. So you're just going to be inserting your stitch into the back loop of your V stitch. And we will have 10 single crochets in total. For round 6, we're going to be making 3 single crochets and decreasing, and then we're going to make another 3 single crochets and decreasing. So basically we're going to be making 3 single crochets and decreasing, and we're going to be repeating that 2 times, and we're going to get 8 single crochets. And I'm really sorry that this video is off frame. I didn't realize until after I was editing, and by that time it was too late to record it again, so I'm really sorry. Hopefully you understand what I'm making, what I'm doing, and I'm going to try to do better next time. Now this part might be a bit confusing, but we are going to be making 7 more single crochets, and then we are going to lightly stuff the hand and fold the opening. So we're going to be pinching the top so that we can see both sides of the stitches, and we're going to be making 4 single crochets through both the layers of the hand. so both the sides. You will understand once you watch the video. So yeah. Just chain one and fasten off, and you don't need to keep a long tail because we won't be sewing it in. We're going to be single crocheting it with the body. To start the legs, we're going to be making 6 single crochets into the magic ring, and it's important to note that we will only be fastening off from the first leg. We will only fasten off from the first leg because we are going to be attaching the legs later on. For round 2, make 6 increases, so we will be putting 2 single crochets in each stitch 6 times and have 12 stitches in total in the end. For round 3, you have to single crochet around in back loop only, so you will be making 12 single crochets in the back loop only and have 12 single crochets in total at the end. For round 4, we will be doing 6 single crochets, and then we will be doing an increase, and then we will be making 5 more single crochets and have 13 stitches in total at the end. Chain 1 and cut to fasten off. Leave a medium-sized tail because we need to sew a bit, but we don't need too much to sew. Repeat the same steps from row 1 to 4, but do not fasten off because we will be attaching the second leg by crocheting, so do not fasten off. To continue, insert your hook into the last stitch of leg 1. To start, make 6 single crochets and add a stitch marker, but also leave the stitch marker in the second leg like the red one I have, but add another stitch marker to the first stitch of round 5. That makes it easier to see what you're doing. So make 6 single crochets and then an increase, and then make 12 single crochets and an increase, and then do 6 single crochets, and at the end you will have 28 stitches. When you reach the first stitch marker from the last leg, you can just take it off because you won't be needing it anymore. It's just easier to keep track of what you're doing if you leave it in for the first bit. Remember the medium sized tail I told you to leave from leg 1? We will be using that to close up the tiny hole that has been made from attaching the two legs. So we're just going to be stitching up that part. It doesn't have to be like very secure because nothing will happen. Just make sure you do it 2 or 3 times. I just did it once here, but yeah, it's fine. Round 6, we're going to be making 12 single crochets, and then we're going to make 4 consecutive increases, and then we will be making 12 single crochets again. So basically we will be making 12 single crochets and then put 2 single crochets in each stitch 4 times and make 12 more single crochets, and we will have 32 stitches in total. Round 7, we're just going to single crochet around and have 32 stitches in total. Now we will be color changing to the shirt color. We will be doing the same method we did last time. In round 8, we are going to be making slip stitches in the back loop only. So with the red, we are going to be making slip stitches in the back loop only, and we will have 32 slip stitches in total. In round 9, in the back loop only, we are going to be making 6 single crochets and 1 decrease, and we are going to be repeating that 3 more times. So once we have done 6 single crochets and 1 decrease in the back loop only, we're going to repeat that 3 more times. This can be a bit hard as it's the back loop only, and also these are slip stitches, so they're a bit tight. Now you can stuff the legs. Round 10, we are going to be making 5 single crochets and decrease. So we are going to be making 5 single crochets and 1 decrease, and we are going to be repeating that 3 more times after we've done it once. For rounds 11 through 12, we're going to single crochet around for 2 rounds, and we will have 24 single crochets at the end. Here we can see the body finally taking shape, and he has a little belly. It's so cute. For round 13, we're going to make 4 single crochet and 1 decrease 4 times. So we're going to be repeating this pattern 4 times of single crocheting 4 and then doing 1 decrease, and we will have 20 single crochets at the end. Round 15, we're going to be making 3 single crochets and 1 decrease, and we're going to be doing that 4 times, and we will have 16 single crochets in total. Now you can stuff the body. Round 16, we will make 5 single crochets and then 4 single crochets with the arm, 3 single crochets and 4 single crochets with the arm. To make the 4 single crochets with the arm, you will see that there is a curved part just curving outside. We need that part facing us. So we will insert our hook through the arm, and then we will insert our hook through the body and make 4 single crochets that same way. Chain 1 and cut to fasten off, and leave a long tail for sewing because we will be sewing this to the head. Honestly, I'm not that great at explaining or that great at sewing, to be honest, so you can use your own technique if you have one, or you can just look at the video and try to follow what I'm showing here. I don't really know how to explain it. Here's what it looks like after the head has been sewn on. You can use your hands to adjust the head and like mold it. And then we will be sewing the ears. Sew the right ear between row 4 and 5, and sew the left ear on between row 6 and 7, or on row 6, if that makes sense. Again, just follow what I'm showing you here because I do not know how to explain it. I'm really sorry, it's my first video, I'm kind of nervous. Please leave like any and every constructive criticism in the comments. I will gladly accept all the constructive criticism you guys have to give me because this is my first video and I want to see where I can improve, and yeah, thank you. sew the nose on row 8, in the middle, of course. Sew the eyes one stitch apart from the nose, so you will skip one stitch and start the eyes, and the eyes will be from row 6 to 8. You can also use felt paper, which is definitely easier. If you have felt paper, then you can use that. It really depends on your preference and what look you're going for. I'm really sorry that a huge part of the sewing is literally off frame. That's about it. Just tie it and hide the ends using your needle inside the body. Thank you so much for watching my first ever video, and I hope you guys come back for more. Like and comment and subscribe, or I will cry a lot.